Don't postpone today's work until tomorrow. A small habit that can change your life.
Are you putting off something you need to do right now? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll rest a little and start later. I'm too tired right now. Sound familiar? But think about it. What happens to the things you've been postponing? Did delaying them make your life easier? Or did they just pile up, making you feel more overwhelmed? Today, let's talk about why we procrastinate, what problems it causes, and what amazing things can happen when we stop delaying and take action. Most importantly, let's explore simple and effective ways to break this habit. So, Chiryun, are you ready to reflect on this with me? 1. What happens when you procrastinate?
Wait a minute, is it really that bad to delay things a little?
At first, it may not seem like a big deal. A day or two won't hurt, right? But once you start procrastinating, it becomes a habit. And that habit weighs you down more than you realize.
Okay, but can you give me some real-life examples?
Sure. Let's think about this. There's a college student, A. He had an important exam coming up, but he kept telling himself, I'll start studying tomorrow. And then another tomorrow. Before he knew it, it was the night before the exam. He stayed up all night, cramming, exhausted, trying to take in all the material at once. And what happened? He couldn't focus during the test, his score suffered, and worst of all, he regretted it deeply. Why didn't I just start earlier? Haven't we all been there? An urgent deadline approaching, but instead of working on it early, we say, I'll start in a bit. And then, at the very last minute, we rush through it in panic. That stress, that regret afterward, doesn't it feel familiar? Now let's ask ourselves, what if we hadn't delayed? 2. What happens when you stop procrastinating?
So, you're saying that finishing things early leads to better results?
Absolutely. Let's go back to student A. What if he had studied little by little instead of cramming? He wouldn't have had to stay up all night. He would have walked into the exam feeling confident and well-rested. His performance would have improved. And most importantly, he would have felt less stressed.
But what about in a work environment? Does it make a difference?
Of course. Employee B had to write an important report. He could have thought, I'll do it tomorrow. But this time, he did things differently. He started early, had enough time to review and fix mistakes, and his boss was impressed with the quality of his work. See the difference? When you stop procrastinating, you produce better results, get recognized for your efforts, and seize opportunities that others might miss. Ultimately, your success and happiness are shaped by the actions you take today, not tomorrow. 3. But how can we actually stop procrastinating?
Okay, I get it. I shouldn't procrastinate, but it's hard to break the habit. How do I actually do it?
Good question. And here's the good news. It's easier than you think. Let me share some simple yet powerful techniques with you. Just do it for 5 minutes.
I really don't feel like doing it.
Where do I start? Try this. Tell yourself to work on it for just 5 minutes. Need to clean your room? I'll clean for just 5 minutes. Don't feel like writing that report? I'll write just the first sentence. Here's a secret. Once you start, you're much more likely to keep going. Think about it. How often have you told yourself, I'll watch YouTube for just 5 minutes, only to realize an hour has passed? Now use that same principle to your advantage. Tackle the hardest task first. There's this one thing I really don't want to do. Then do it first. This is called the eat the frog strategy. If you take care of the toughest task early, the rest of your day feels much lighter. If you exercise first thing in the morning, you don't have to think about it all day. If you finish your hardest work task early, the rest of your workday feels like a breeze. Set an earlier deadline for yourself.
The deadline is Friday. I still have time, right?
Wrong. If you aim to finish by Friday, you'll probably end up rushing on Thursday night. But what if you tell yourself, I'll finish by Wednesday? Now you have extra time to review, refine, and correct mistakes. It's a simple trick, but it works wonders. 4. Final question. What will you choose today? So what do you think? Do you see now why procrastination is holding you back? It increases stress, makes you miss out on opportunities, and leaves you with regret. But when you stop procrastinating, you produce better results. You gain confidence, and you open the door to more opportunities. So let me ask you this. That thing you've been putting off, why not start now? Just for 5 minutes, with a small, easy step, by tackling the hardest task first. Because that one small action today can completely change your future. So will you start today, or will you push it off again?
Your small actions today will shape the life you live tomorrow. Ding dong dang, good.